So this wildebeest decided to come to her child's school looking a hot mess. And she was rightfully told to go back home, put on some clothes, and come back when she has respectable clothing. From there, the school principal enacted a policy basically saying no tight clothes, no bonnets, no scarf. Just ladies, let's tighten it up. The fact that a principal had to go there with parents is problematic. Not with this was a high school. So these are the mothers of the of teenage girls. These teenage girls are one step away from adulthood, and she has to correct the parents on what to wear. And the problem is not necessarily with what she did, is this. This group on Facebook, Extraordinary Negroes, says you can be black and still enact anti-black policies. So requiring women, y'all do understand that your child's school is a place of business, okay? It's a place of business. So just like you wouldn't go to a dentist's office or a doctor's appointment any type of way, your school, the secretaries, the principal, they work for you. And you work for them in providing your children. And so it's a place of business. And how you show up to a place like that determines how people treat you and your child. It's a reflection on your values. It's a reflection on your class. It's a reflection on your literacy.
What's up, everyone? This is Alon Jones, and I'm back with another video. Tonight I want to talk about something that I recently heard about, and I find it super annoying. You just saw a clip of a woman that was not me speaking about this subject, and that is of the Texas principal who put a ban on bonnets and sleepwear and things like that for parents when they're picking up their kids from school. They're not allowed to wear those things. So, first off, this is specifically targeting ADOS. I don't really care what anyone else has to say about that. I don't know if anyone else is saying that, but so far I haven't found anybody talking about that. ADOS are the only women who wear bonnets outside. And no, I'm not embarrassed about that. We have a culture. Is wearing bonnets outside a part of the culture? That's not what I'm saying necessarily. But it's the same as an Italian woman who has rollers in her hair and she puts a scarf over and she just runs to pick up her kids from school. She might not cover the rollers with the scarf. I've seen Hispanic women do the thing with the rollers. Black women have done the thing with the rollers. Everybody does it. When you go to drop your kids off or pick them up from school, I don't think you should be expected to look any type of way. The principal made up this lie about she saw people indecent, she saw nipples, she saw ass, and thong. I don't know how true that is. She enforced this same rule at the last school that she was at. So she kept seeing ass and titties out? Or does she just like to dictate what other people do and what she likes to see just because? You're not going to tell me what to wear outside, period. And I really hope that ADOS starts standing up for themselves, because this has really become the straw that broke the camel's back for me, at least. You have all the colorism activists talking about featureism and colorism and incorrect representation and all of that, and they turn around and they bash, smash, obliterate the image of ADOS black women. They shit on us. They do not like you, ADOS woman. They don't like you. They don't mess with you. They're not your friends. These particular groups of women that I'm speaking of, they're not our friends. I don't know who our friends are at ADOS. I'm seeing a lot on the internet, people saying we have no friends, and I think I have to agree. We are, as far as everyone else is concerned, at the bottom, and we're not cohesive enough to combat that at this point in time. And we have to work on that instead of just staying on social media. Seems like everybody just wants to be comfortable, get their order of chicken wings and fried rice cut up with the hot sauce and ketchup and the soda, and just sit in front of the phone or the TV and interact that way, I guess, or just be entertained. They're not trying to do anything. And no, I'm not stereotyping. I just ate that shit yesterday. I had a craving for it. It's delicious. But that can't be my lifestyle. I still have to do work in my community and at my regular job, which in a way does help my community, help my family. I still have to do my part. You know, I can't just be at home eating like trash and not doing anything. But I digress. Let me get into this situation. So this woman in the beginning of the video is so emboldened to talk about this woman this way. What did she call her? A Neanderthal or something like that? So disrespectful. And ADOS never says anything in their defense, ever. Everyone's allowed to just say whatever they want about us, depict us however they want to, and there's not a peep from us. So this woman, whether she's ADOS or not, she belongs to what I call the Holier Than Thou Club. This club was founded by white people, but it has a lot of black immigrant members in it. I want you to look at all of the comments on the videos surrounding this subject. Now, check out the ratio of yay to nay comments. Majority of the people are for what the principal is doing. Now, pay attention to what they're saying, the people who are for it, and the people who aren't. Everybody, pay attention to what everybody's saying, and pay attention to the group that the people belong to, the people who are for it. Are they American? Can you pronounce their name? What type of group do they belong to? So, this Holier Than Thou Club, these people have a superiority complex. This set of people have a superiority complex, and they set very high standards for themselves and the people around them. And they get upset if the people around them don't meet their personal standards. Now remember, this is what narcissists tend to do. This is a narcissistic trait. These people are hyper-focused on manners and propriety. And it's so they can be more like civilized white society. I believe they're trying to emulate that. They're trying to mimic that. And they want to be better than the other niggers. They want to be the good niggers that the masses like. These people are also part of this Holier Than Thou Club. Other club members include church people, church members. It's even better if you have a title. If you're a church leader or you have a position within the church. Of course, not all church members, but to anyone who's listening right now, if you are interested enough in the beginning or my thumbnail or whatever, you should know what I'm talking about. Other club members include the well-educated black folks. Well-educated males and well-educated black queens, especially that latter group. Both of these people, the well-educated men and female, they will turn up their nose at you, honey. And they won't do anything to help you get educated yourself or better yourself. They just want to sit on a high horse all day, lonely, because these groups are chronically single. And they just want to look down on you. It's like a full-time job. They just want to look down on you all day, every day. Meanwhile, they could help you, but they don't want to because these people are a little narcissistic, guys. And it causes problems for them. And it attributes to their dating status also. Not wanting to do what the other sex requires of you. Not wanting to put the work in to attract the other sex because of the narcissism. You feel like you don't have to. That's another conversation though. It's trendy for these club members, it's trendy to shit on ADOS, and it's their favorite pastime. Other members of this holier than thou club include ADOS who have gotten out of the hood. And they always say they got out of the hood with no help. That's their thing. I did it. How come you can't do it? No one helped me. And they're not realizing, because they're so narcissistic, that everybody's situation is different. I'm not going to dissect that right now, but a lot of things went into play as far as why you got out of the hood with no help. But it wasn't just you. Believe me. Other members, ADOS who were not accepted by other ADOS, they held on to that resentment that they felt since they were young. And then when they got older and they're like, you know what? I have my education that I got with no help, and I'm out of here. I'm leaving the black community. They never accepted me anyway. And then you just look down on ADOS once you leave. So that pretty much sums up everybody in that club. I want to get into Miss Carlotta. All right, since Miss Carlotta has a lot to say about what people wear and look like and do, let's get into Miss Carlotta's profile. So, Miss Carlotta, you seem to care a great deal about fashion and clothes. You have a nice collection of loud garments and loud jewelry and wigs. I see your friends rock Chanel and Louis Vuitton. You wear makeup. I've seen your type before. And frankly, I think you look untrustworthy. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because you have carefully and deliberately employed these narcissistic tactics, which got you what you needed, and it continues to get you what you want. Which are, number 1, be an upstanding community leader. Do work in schools. Do work with children's programs. Owning a daycare is a bonus. Do work within the church. Be as active as you can be in as many areas as you can so that you can charm the people involved along the way. And, you become a familiar face if you're active in a lot of different things. And people like you. You got to charm them. This is what Cardi B did. Throughout her pregnancy, before her pregnancy, she was everywhere, mingling with everyone. It didn't matter how ratchet she was. It didn't matter how uneducated she sounded, how uncouth she was. She became friendly with everybody. There's no one who doesn't like Cardi B, who doesn't seem like a hater. All the celebrities like her. And all the white people that she has to deal with, and whoever is in Hollywood or in high places that she's met, they all like her. They all co-sign her. Now, guess what that does? When you do things like that, it gives you protection. It gets you cosigns. And it gives you positive attention that people who like attention like. But yes, more importantly, people co-sign you and they protect you. So now when you drug and rob dudes and that comes out, it's like nothing ever happened because you are thoroughly accepted and co-signed by the right people and by a high volume of people. You're protected. You can do whatever you want now. It's quite admirable. I mean, before her, it was just men doing that. It was a dude type of protection. Anyway, number 2, narcissistic tactic. You must work for the kids in some capacity. You have to work with any association or have any association doing things for posterity or for the betterment of our youth. And it will give you saint status. You'll be looked at as a saint. Anything associated with children and service of children will automatically make you a good person in society's eyes. By the way, charity equals good person. Anybody who gives to charity, automatically they're like, oh my gosh, you're such a good person. Bless your heart, you're a sweetheart. Narcissistic types, they know this. And they know that a community do-gooder is a good mask. So if they aren't really good inside, they know that's a great mask to wear. Community person. Do it for the kids person. I'm not saying this Carlotta lady's evil or anything. It's just her record's too clean and she is a narcissist for these rules that she's trying to enforce. She's bugging and she's an agent. Okay, she's not for ADOS. She's perpetuating this negative propaganda towards ADOS. So now, lastly, you can carry out your selfish desires without any guidelines or approval or consequences. So no one is watching you. There's nobody policing what you do. There's nothing because you set it up. So you could just do whatever you want. This works best if the narcissist works within a system without checks and balances, or they work within a corrupt system. I've seen it happen. So far, nobody's saying anything about this principle. She's just this independent, do-gooder, strong black woman, and who's going to challenge her when it comes to this crazy ban? Who's going to challenge the black woman, the most protected person right now? So what else? Oh, remember all that empathy that narcissists don't have? Remember that? Now think about that. Do these people care about the situation of the parents? These parents coming in with bonnets and pajamas and stuff? They don't care if the parents are busy, if they may be busy, if they're multitasking. Maybe they just got their hair done. It's in the rollers. It's not dry yet. They have to wear the rollers or they have to put something over it. Some of the parents could be low income. Actually, on Ellen, they said that most of her students are low income. The families. And it's like, okay, I understand they don't all only have pajamas and flip-flops and things like that in their wardrobe, no matter how little money you have. But it's so stupid for people to say, I mean, I've seen so many comments, you could go to the club, but you can't look nice to pick your child up from school. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is an everyday thing. You got to drop them off and you got to pick them up. Every day. This is not an event like going to the club. You know how different those situations are, but you're just pulling that out of your ass. And guess what? The principal said something stupid to that effect also, which lets me know what type of person she is, you know? She said something like, oh, you wouldn't go to church like that. I know she's heavily involved in the church. She must be. I know she is. And I know she's mixed up in some drama in the church too. But anyway, yeah, you wouldn't go to church like that. Church is one day. You get to prepare for that. This is going to school. I came to school one day with slippers. I was rushing so much, I didn't realize I didn't switch into my shoes. Things happen. Now, aside from being busy and stuff like that, how about depression? And we're talking about ADOS. I mentioned in my very first video, in my 10 suggestions for ADOS video, about how depression can look for ADOS. It doesn't necessarily look the same that it does for other races because we have way less. And the situation's so different. What if the parent is depressed? She can't do her hair. She can't get dressed. She needs help. The most she can do is just pick the child up from school. And thank God she's doing that. I'm not trying to pass out cookies to people for doing the bare minimum, but not everybody is as well functioning or high functioning as you. And this is what narcissistic people don't understand. Well, actually, they understand, they just don't care. Remember, they have high expectations for you as well as themselves. Everyone around them. If you don't meet them, they do not respect you. They don't consider your special circumstances. And that's all I have to say about that. I'll catch you guys next time in another video.